up, beautiful child of God? Welcome on today's show. I am Y311H. Together, we shall be reacting to good vibes videos. These ones, my friend, they have all types of information. From mysteries of this world, politics going on around, to different things that you might not think about right now. And through these videos, we shall be on a mission. I'll tell you about the mission shortly, but first, listen to this. Dear friend, I pray that you may enjoy good health and that all may go well with you, even as your soul is getting along well. That is our passage of today from the book of Wisdom, 3rd John chapter 1, verse 2. Interesting, right? Now the mission is to spread love, peace, good vibes, honesty, forgiveness, and basically making sure all earthlings love their neighbors the way they love themselves. But before anything, before we even dive in, let's give thanks for life together and take a look at what we have. Thank you, wonderful Father, for your goodness and love. Thank you for the gift of life, Father. Thank you for the videos you have today. Thank you for your precious child, today's viewer, Father. Thank you for their souls, Father. Thank you for your love and forgiveness of all our sins, Father. Thank you for the words from the book of Wisdom, Father. Thank you for everything and your spirit that shall be with us till the end. In your holy name, Jesus Christ, we do pray, trusting and believing. Amen. Child of God, let's take a look at these videos.
Have you seen this video? Let's check it out together.
South African Air Force tracked a unidentified flying object flying from the northeast to the southwest near the Kalahari Desert. The South African Air Force launched a Mirage, a fighter jet, and this aircraft had an experimental weapon system on board. It's called a Thor-B, which is a tactical high-energy or high-powered operational responder. That's what Thor meant. And it was a laser-directed weapon system. At the South African Air Force Base, authorized that pilot to fire the experimental weapon, the Thor-B weapon, and shot down this UFO.
It took it out.
Took it out with this energy-directed weapon. It was a laser system. Again, it was experimental, and this was 1989. We have those weapons now, but we're so far advanced. The craft crashed in the Kalahari Desert, which was some distance away. So it took some time for an Air Force convoy, South African Air Force convoy, to get to the site to find out exactly what they shot down. But when they got there, they found this huge craft, which was 60 feet in diameter, about 20 feet high. It weighed 18 tons or so, and it was open. The bottom part.
Wow, that one, my friend, is scared. Those things that I said maybe got out, all for entertainment purposes.
No, ain't no way. Ain't no damn way he got that shot with a 50 millimeter. Oh, I'm about to show you it's a 50 millimeter. All right, so the quality is not all that great, but I'm looking real close, and it looked like a 50. That is a 50 millimeter, ladies and gentlemen. Ain't no way, hey, you get that with a 50 millimeter. Now, working on this video, I don't have my camera. I left at the house, but I told my daughter, take a selfie with a 50 mil and see if you can get yourself in a shot. And this is what she got. You cannot take a selfie with a 50 millimeter with two people in it.
Honesty, my friends, rest of honesty needed in this one.
Here's a little fun fact for you. Did you know that the inside of catalytic converters are made out of platinum? That's right. What filters the exhaust that comes from your car is platinum. You've got platinum underneath your car. That's why people want these things so badly.
Okay, that one is new. But guys, did you know that?
Was a sequence of photographs taken from on board the rover whilst it was driving between stations. And if we look at this photograph from the sequence, for example, we can see these rocks in the distance, and as far as we could tell, these rocks could just be pretty small and only a few meters away. However, when you play the sequence through, you notice those rocks getting larger and larger and larger, until eventually the rover actually stops next to them and you realize the main rock is taller than a person. And once again, we can overlay the photos to show that they are the same rocks. In fact, I even scaled all of the photos down so that the rocks stayed the same size, and I could toggle between the layers to show that there is that same rotation as the observer's perspective changes. And finally, I then showed him this footage from Apollo 16, where we see the astronauts gathering up their equipment from the rover and then heading away towards what looks like a boulder that's probably about the same height as them, maybe a little bit bigger. And that probably about here, they're halfway there already. But as we let the footage play on, the astronauts just keep getting further and further away from the camera, only now actually getting to the halfway point to the rock.
When I see things on the moon and people on the moon, Taurus looks like a
You've been
movie.
wearing flip-flops wrong your whole life and never noticed. That's why they keep slipping off and flying away. But here's the trick. Adjust the strap the right way, and boom, even running at 200 per hour, they won't come off.
Okay. This is an interesting hack. Our friend here must have encountered a lot to come up with this idea. You see? This one, maybe he does lots of running for him to come up with this. Because children of God, how could you think that this is something that can work with flip-flops? Humans are incredible, my friends. Their brains, uniqueness, this is just awesome. Look at this. Nothing like this has ever crossed my mind. Wow. And this is probably someone's father. Look, from the size of the leg. It's like they discovered this when they were old. It's good vibes, this one. So incredible stuff. Now look at this. Wow. What is this? What are we even seeing? This is 3-eye atlas. Allegedly, my friends, this is the 3-eye atlas thing. What? He's scared. Oh, no. But this is for entertainment, children of God. But look, this thing looks huge. But it looks like that shape is made, not a random shape.
Lord have mercy. Y'all look at this right here. Them folks ain't found one but two of them things. Do you hear me? Brand new. Can't. Oh, Lord, they got the trucks too. You spend so much money on them trucks to make your business look so good. Boy, somebody snitch. Somebody snitch. J.I. Let me get an I. You know what I mean?
Looks like someone from that crew decided to practice honesty.
So weird, that effect. It is as if you're looking at a different world behind it. So I've been researching a little bit more about lasers. In fact, it's firing about 16 quadrillion little tiny beams of light, and they're all lined up parallel. So that's the point of a laser, is that it's all firing in parallel. So then what you're seeing is tiny little specular light reflecting back. And so the specular light will reflect a sharp dot even if the lens is not focused. Now, whether or not it reveals the code is up to you, but it's pretty convincing when you look at it. I mean, it looks like a rift and you can see right through it.
Some people believe you have to be on DMT to see those things, but it's all for entertainment purposes. Now look at this. Some good vibes guy saw some trouble and decided to be creative. Just like humans are, my friend. It's incredible. Wow, that one.
Man, you won't even fucking believe it. I'll tell you that. One
Please.
Atlantis.
Atlantis, the sunken city?
Yeah.
There's a connection?
There's a connection.
What's the connection?
That there's a very advanced group that left after a catastrophe and hung around in a small outpost here and throughout time would push civilization forward, and that's who the Greek gods were.
Whoa.
Yep. And that's why it's very interesting when the Roswell wreckage, there's Greek writing.
Is there?
There is.
I've never seen any of the wreckage from Roswell. Have you?
It's online. You see it. Type in Roswell wreckage. You can see it.
Well,
Type in
all I've ever seen is the dude standing in front of the bullshit, the weather balloon stuff, where they're laughing and yucking it up.
Roswell wreckage, Roswell I-beam. You'll see it. And it's got these Greek markings. And the witnesses that were there did what do you call it? Where they go on oath and tell. So that
actual I-beam showing the word Eleftheria,
which means freedom in ancient Greek. So
where's that from, Jamie?
Let me tell you.
I don't know. I've popped up on it.
Well, I'm going to tell you something else. So okay. I went and met a former director of CIA and NSA. He was director of both. I won't tell you his name. And right when I sat down and told him about my book,
pull that picture up again. Look at those little hands.
And right when I sat down and told him about this is a big deal.
Okay,
so I'm sitting with this guy. He was like not that long ago, was director of CIA, and he went on to be director of NSA.
Okay. Well, I think we can find his name.
Maybe. But right when I sat down and told him about the book, you know what he says to me?
What?
He goes, I didn't read much science fiction as a kid, but I read a lot about Greek mythology. And looked me in the eye. I said, well, you're going to love the last page of my book then. He's like, am I? And when my book was about ready to go to pressing, I had a very important person call me up. He says, can you stop that pressing and maybe insert something about Greek mythology? And I said, I sure can. So something you got to realize is, for example, the 6th biggest defense contractor in the world, at least they used to be 6, there's a company called Science Applications International Corporation, SAIC. Their headquarters are actually in San Diego. And in the front of the building, you have an obelisk coming out of a fake lake and 2 Atlantean on thrones. And they're both holding pyramids. And one says the past and one says the future. And they're 8-foot tall statues. It's fucking nuts, by the way.
What about all that Zechariah Sitchin stuff?
I think he was close. I don't think he was exact, but it's interpretive. You know, if I was to show you some symbols.
For people who don't know what that is.
Zechariah Sitchin is a Palestinian scholar that decoded a lot of ancient Sumerian texts that were written in Akkadian. Sumer was like kind of the first civilization that was advanced that we even know of, just out of nowhere here, like 3,500 years before Christ. There's mathematics, astronomy, and all this different shit. They knew all the planets. They said there's an extra planet. But Zechariah Sitchin was the one that really spent a lot of time doing that. And there's a lot of other scholars that disagree. Now he can say, you know, in those texts is the story of the Garden of Eden, the flood of Noah, like all that shit. But his take on it was those who from heaven to earth came, called them angels, but they were an advanced race. They fucked around with genetics.
Well, that was his take on the definition of Nephilim.
Was the Nephilim? Yeah, which you find that in Genesis, the Nephilim. So you know he was able to tell a really interesting story based on these texts, and but some people don't agree with him. But at the end of the day, I think it's the closest thing we got. And in my early conversations, when I was being given some interesting science fiction stuff for my book, the Greek mythology part, I brought up the Sumerians, and they showed me one particular king. They said, we find this one very interesting. And I can't remember his name, but it fired so quick when I asked the question. It came right back with this whole thing on this one Sumerian king. Really interesting.
It's funny because from this side of the world, we believe everything happens under the sea.
Last night, thousands of people were startled by the same eerie sight. Because behind the moon, a giant human face appeared. At first, many thought it was just an illusion or a camera trick, but then photos and videos from different locations started flooding the internet, and every single one showed the same thing. A face, clear as day, staring straight at Earth. Scientists cautiously suggested it could be an atmospheric refraction or overlapping shadows between the moon and Earth's atmosphere. If that's a face, has it been watching us all along? What's even stranger, AI-enhanced images revealed that the face seemed to move. The mouth appeared slightly open, almost as if trying to speak. This instantly reminded people of ancient legends. The moon isn't just a satellite, but an eye watching Earth. So, what does this face mean? Is it just a cosmic illusion or a message from beyond? Whatever the truth is, one thing is certain. Last night's moon will be remembered as one of the eeriest moments in human history.
This is very funny. Say the AI or you guys live in a completely different
There are
world.
thousands of people who visit the same exact dream world every single night in their sleep, and this appears to be a growing phenomenon affecting more and more people, and it is called the mall world. But before you can answer whether or not you have been there, you need to look at this next image. The name is misleading because not all areas of this dream world are actually a mall, and when I first went down this rabbit hole, I was focused on the other things like the water park, as I was actually making a map of this area before I realized other people were having the same exact dream, until I stumbled on this photo. Seeing this one image triggered a flood of memories for me of how many recurring dreams I have had and countless days I have spent exploring this mall area. Seeing this image was so disturbing, it felt like an AI-generated image that was nearly identical to my childhood bedroom, because my experiences here feel realer than real. I have genuine friendships in this mall world. I even attend classes at a university that are right down that stairway. Have you ever been there before? Do you know what I am talking about? Because there is something so weirdly intimate about this whole experience and how personal a dream feels, and then to learn that so many other people are visiting that same exact space is blowing my mind. Please share what you think this could be, because we have such a limited understanding of what dreams even are, and stumbling across this fact that I'm experiencing this with thousands of other people feels important.
So this is strange. Immediately I saw that photo, I felt like I know that
When
place.
you owe the bank $5 million, you've got a problem. But when you owe the bank $50 million, they've got a problem.
Oh, wow.
And when you owe the bank $50 million, they tend to call you, Marjorie, and they say to you things like, hey, how would you like to go to lunch this week?
Oh,
now,
wow.
you liked going to lunch
For sure.
But you are smart and you say, hang on a minute, we went to lunch last week and they paid, so now they probably want me to pay. And before you can say anything, they say, it's on us, of course, as usual. Why, when you owe the bank $50 million, do they take you to lunch 2 weeks in a row and pay for it?
That's kind of interesting. Tell us.
And the answer is not to make sure that you're still alive because they're worried about their 50 million. They're not even worried whether you're alive or not, because even if you were to die that day, horrible thought, but even if, then they've got the collateral of the buildings that were bought with the $50 million loan. So they could force a sale and get their 50 million.
Okay, that sounds interesting. Sounds like owing the bank is a good. I can't believe that is real. That is a speaker.
You're going to see in this video, Buddy is able to land his laser on the moon. Literally landed on the moon. Now, that must be a powerful laser, guys, because it's got to go 235,000 kilometers. Like, imagine seeing this video and then still thinking the moon is that far away. It's literally landing it on the moon. How is that possible? How? How is it possible? How is it possible that we can zoom in so perfectly on something that is 235,000 kilometers? Like, articulate that. Like, figure out how far that is in your mind. It's extremely far, and we're able to do this. Come on. Like, come on now. Like, wake up, maybe? You're being lied to? NASA's deceiving you? All you need to do is open your eyes. Do your own critical analysis and use your own brain, and stop believing what you're told to believe, and you'll find the truth. It's extremely easy to see, extremely easy to find. You can do your research yourself, you can do experiments yourself, and you'll figure it all out. So wake up.
When I look at the moon at night, it doesn't feel that far. But science is never wrong. Off for entertainment.
Walking alone by the River Seine, phone to his ear, bodyguards at a distance, and a lot on his mind. This was Monday morning. Just hours earlier, he'd learned that for the 5th time since the start of his second term, the Prime Minister had resigned. This one lasted less than 1 month and resigned within hours of naming his cabinet. Now, Emmanuel Macron faces 3 bad options. One, likely to fail in finding consensus. Another would be to dissolve Parliament again, as he did last year, a risky move that could hand even more power to the far right. But there is a third option, the one even Macron's centrist allies are now calling for: his own resignation and an early presidential election. Was that what he was thinking about on his quiet walk by the Seine? We will likely never know. But we will find out on Wednesday whether the outgoing Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu has decided to stay on. If not, we will find out what President Macron really meant when he said that he would be taking his responsibilities.
This is mind-blowing. Looks like politics is taking a major turn around the world.
Do you
even
have a
around
donkey
here.
that has problems with personal space, boundary issues, separation anxiety? Perhaps they get upset when you go to another room. Well, might we suggest this very simple solution?
This is a good vibes child of God. This one.
It's worked very well for us. Now I can get all of my work done out here, and Doug can watch me.
Ah, this is incredible, my friends. Look at this. This is a lovely evening. Sharing love with this another creature of God. This is just good vibes, my friends. Hit that like button kindly.